Today I'm going to talk about a few things to remember while you're setting up your chicken coop. Let's go! The first thing to remember and to get done before you get your chickens is a good hen house. You want a good, strong wooden hen house. And the reason that is everything wants to eat your chickens for their whole life. Animals around for probably miles around figure out where the chickens live, and so obviously they're going to come and see if they can get them. That's what wild animals do. They're very they're very opportunistic. So you want to make sure that when you put your chickens away at night and you go in the house and you go to bed, you know for sure your chickens are safe, and you don't have to be like hearing a ruckus out there and jump out of bed and run outside to save them. Because we all go away. Don't forget, chickens live for years and years. So we all go away for the weekend to visit family. We go on little vacations. And so while you're gone, you want to be confident that your chickens are safe in their chicken coop. So that is quite a big project to get done at first. But if you really decide you want chickens, that is just something you have to do. Build an awesome wooden chicken coop. Also, I just want to add what is in the chicken coop, because there's just some basics. It doesn't have to be fancy. You know, of course it can be if you like it, and it's something fun, like a little hobby for you, but it doesn't have to be. It can be very basic. So what you're going to need in there are the roost that they sleep on, which is basically, you know, a big, long, fatter stick. So they can get up there, and that's where they love to sleep. They'll all line up there. It's actually really cute. And they'll sleep up there. So they have to have a roost, and you don't need the roost like way up in the ceiling. You know, you can have it about, you know, I like to have it about right here, 4 or 5 feet high. And then if your hens are bigger breeds, you're going to have to build a little chicken ladder to go up and down the roost, because a lot of times they can flutter up to the roost. They'll make it up there. But the problem is when they jump down, you know, they need room to flutter down off the roost. And they'll manage fine when they're young, but once they start getting older and more heavy, what happens is you can tell they're reluctant to jump down because it hurts them. And don't forget, they have an egg in there growing every day, so they don't want to plop down to the ground, because you wouldn't want that egg to burst inside them when they plop to the ground when they're heavier and more mature. So the chicken ladder is perfect, and you know, make sure it's wide enough, like 6 to 8 inches wide. And then I just nail little cross boards so they can get some grip going up. And they might not use it at first. You'll be like, oh, I built this nice chicken ladder, they don't even use it. But they will, trust me, they will. When they need it, they'll start going up and down the chicken ladder. So that's very important. The next thing you need in your hen house is a few, you know, 2 maybe, depending on how many chickens you have, nest boxes. And there's lots of different ways to make a nest box. I personally find they love wooden nest boxes, but again, there's many ways and different nest boxes you can make. So, you know, that's just something you got to figure out for yourself, how much money you have to spend on it, how much time, and then just make a nest box. Put a little hay in there. They love that. They'll make a little nest in there, and they'll feel really comfortable. And then another thing I will do, and this is just in case I go away on vacation or the weekend or whatever, I have just a hanging feeder in there so it doesn't get wet. So if I have to go away, just even if it's just overnight, you know, all day, overnight or whatever, you can just put food in that little hanging heat feeder, and they can come and just eat it when they want to, and it'll stay nice and dry. Now here is a point I have to bring up. If you leave food in that feeder all the time, it is going to attract, you know, mice and different things if it's sloppy on the ground. That is why you hang the feeder. Don't just lay it on the ground in there. Hang it by a rope from the rafter in your chicken coop, and make sure it's about, you know, I don't know, 4 inches off the ground. That way bugs can't crawl up in the food, and then mice can't reach it from the ground. Just picture like a mouse trying to get up there. It just has to be high enough for that. And then, you know, that helps with the food. But don't keep food in it 24/7, because get so many people writing to me, saying they have mice or rats in there, and it's like, don't leave food out 24/7. Of course, that's going to attract everything to come and eat it. They're not stupid. Animals are always looking for food. All right, so have that in there. And then if you wanted to, you could have a little water bowl in the hen house, and then again, 2 water bowls. One outside at the other end of the coop, which that's what I do. I don't keep a water bowl in the hen house. I have it outside at the other end. My little frizzle bantams. They're so cute and so sweet. They don't go too far from the coop though. They're like, we're not brave enough yet. The second thing I want to talk about is number 2, don't get too many chickens in the beginning. Start small. I always recommend to people get 1 chicken per family member and just start there. And here's the thing, don't get all riled up. You can always add more. That's what you have to remember. So just get 1 chicken per family member, and then once you get that going good, they're laying, they're comfortable, you have figured out your hen house is secure, nothing can get in there, your run is secure, nothing can get out, nothing can get in, you have all that figured out. And trust me, that doesn't happen like snap of a finger. You have to live with it for a while to figure it all out. So once you have all that figured out, they're roosting on the roost. Sometimes they'll want to sleep in the nest box. And you're like, why are they sleeping in the nest box? It's because you have a problem. Those chickens don't feel secure. Otherwise, they would be up on the roost. Chickens want to sleep on the roost. So you have to figure all those things out. Figure it out, tweak it, change it around. And so that all takes time. That doesn't just happen. So once you have all that figured out, the hens are laying eggs on a regular basis, you have the feed figured out, everything's going smooth. Now you know what you're doing. Of course, you can add more. So that's what I recommend to everybody, because it's not perfectly easy. Just boom, you're a professional at it. It takes time to get the hang of it. So start small, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, how get more, whatever. I want more. Of course you do, but you're not ready for that yet. So just take it slow, and trust me, you will avoid a lot of problems. So many people get too many, and then here come all the letters and questions, and the first thing I say, I'm like, well, you didn't listen to me. Start small. So you can make your own trouble by getting too many. And it's easy to get too many. I understand, believe me. It's easy to get too many. They start out tiny and cute, and you're just like, oh, how adorable. So it's very easy to get too many, but just control yourself and don't do it. And another thing is, make sure that here, let me just bring this point up. If you get a bunch of chickens and then you're having troubles and they're not laying, let me assure you, it's expensive to feed them. To feed them right. It costs a lot of money. So if you're putting out all this money for feed, of course you're doing the work. You're going out there, you're taking care of them, and which is work every single day. And yet you're not getting any eggs because your coop is just not a happy coop. You want to get a happy coop. So it's not happy, and you're just like, what is going on? And you just get so frustrated. And it's harder to figure all that out when you have a bunch of chickens out there. So just start small. Believe me, you will have time to get more. And here's the thing, chickens live a long time. So, you're going to be like feeding them a long time. It's costly. So to be feeding all those chickens and not getting any eggs is just crazy. That's why people lose interest quickly lose interest and get rid of them, or they just don't care, and whatever, they die, the wild animals eat them, whatever. That happens a lot. You feel sorry for chickens, And don't forget also, chickens will lay pretty good for 2 years, the first 2 years. So you'll be like, oh, I'm an expert. They're all laying good. I don't know what she's talking about. They're awesome. Let me assure you. at year number 3 and 4, you will see what I'm talking about. It's like, if you don't take really good care of them and feed them right, your egg production will go jump way down. So that's when you know if you're doing it right. If you have a 4 or 5-year-old chicken and you're getting lots of eggs from them. The third and last thing I want to talk about today are the different personalities of different breeds of chickens. This is something to really think about, and you have to do your research. Don't just ask somebody in the store like, oh, what do you think? Because you will never get the right answer. So do your own research about different chicken breeds. Because let me assure you, some have a feisty personality, which means they're energetic, they're kind of heavy built, and they're just like kind of smarter, and they will pick on the sweetie breeds that are just calm and so sweet, like they don't have a mean bone in their body, and those are the ones that will follow you around, and you know, they'll just be very enjoyable. I love the sweetie breeds personally. They're very nice to be around. You know, they just fit in nicely and just get along nicely, and I love those. But just be assured, there's 2 different personality types to chicken breeds, feisties and sweeties. So some people just go in the store and they're like going like they're walking down a bakery window, you know what I mean, the bakery counter, and they're like, I'll have one of those and 2 of those, and I'll try one of those. Oh, those look good, give me one of those, box them all up. And then they go home, and as the chickens grow, now it's chaos out in the coop. And they grow up a bit, that's when the problems will start, because feisty chickens are going to be more just aggressive and determined and courageous. And so they'll start picking on the little sweeties who have a very friendly, timid personality. And what happens is they'll pull feathers out, they'll peck them, and just, you know, they'll make sores on them. And once a chicken sees like a little bloody meaty spot, they truly think that's food, and they'll just start pecking that, and they'll just, oh, it's horrible. So you want to avoid that at all costs. Trust me, you don't want that to happen to your chickens. So make sure when you go there, you can control yourself, and you have made your list of breeds that you want to get, and then just stick by your list. And you know, in the store, it's just a whirlwind. You're just like, oh, we're shopping. But believe me, when you get home and you have gone by your list and stuck with it, and you go home and put your coop together, oh, you're going to be so much happier. You're going to be like, oh, thank God I had self-control and I just did what I was supposed to. Because then your chicken coop will just be humming along, and you'll just be getting your eggs and truly enjoying them. You won't have problems, and you'll just be like, yeah, I'm kicking butt at this. I have written this little book, Becky's Guide to Raising Backyard Chickens, and what I like to put in this book are the basics, just to help you find the answers to common questions on raising your chickens. I didn't want to make it like too long and boring where you're just like, oh. So this, you know, it's pretty thin, not too thick, and if you have questions, you can just quickly go to the book, look things up, and find your answer. Problem solved. It just makes it so nice and easy. So click the link and you can buy the book.